Welcome to another video of Python data analysis. So today we'll be discussing about the basics of NumPy. So we'll be using Python and Jupyter and the data for data analysis, and the discussion should be NumPy. Now NumPy is like my Python libraries for scientific computing, and it has relatively faster compared to the native Python list or and you can have like a few additional matrix multiplication related to scientific computing. So we'll be seeing, and we can see how to do a one-dimensional array, how to get two-dimensional array on the fly, and you can convert how to convert one dimension to two dimension, and you can do some little bit of arithmetic operations and matrix multiplication. We'll see with some examples. We'll try to cover how to get the aggregate functions like maximum, minimum, or standard deviation, like that sort of thing. And we'll do some matrix indexing and slicing, and let's go to the Jupyter notebook and do some hands-on. Okay, hope for okay. So what you can do, let me just zoom it. Yeah, the first liner is import NumPy as NP. If you do that, then you can get the NP object. Let's run it. Now it's done successfully. In order to get an one-dimensional array, what you can do, you can just write the array like this. You can add as many number of elements that you would like to have in the one-dimensional array. And you can declare it by NP array. Okay, there you go. And the type of the array is ND array. If you do type and do, it should give me ND array. Similarly, the data type should be, it should give me either integer 64 or 34 depending upon the what kind of processor you are using your operating system. So right now it is showing as 32 because I have selected 32 while installing this Python 3. The dimension of the array should give me 1 because the n here, n means n number of dimension. Here it is 1 because I have created one dimensional array. And similarly size, if you want to see the size, it has to give like from 10 to 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I am hoping it should give me 6 because starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sorry, I counted it as wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number of elements, and the shape is like 6, 1 because it's one dimensional array. If it is two dimensional, we'll see what should be the output. Okay, and here to create a two dimensional array, what you can do, you can just write this is my first row, the other one is my second row, and just create the similarly, just like you are using for one dimensional array, you can just put that into one diamond inside the square bracket, so it should give you the two dimensional array. Similarly, to get the dimension as what is the dimension, n diamond, if you type ndim, it should give you as 2 because it's two dimensional array. And the shape should be 2 by 4. That means I have 2 number of rows and 4 number of columns. Size, it should give me 8 because total number of elements as 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, let's suppose you want to get all the elements as 0 instead of typing it manually. And okay, my 4 by 3 cross matrix or any dimensional matrix that you want to fill that with 0, here you can do it like this. Let's try with 6. So it should give me 4 by 6, all fill with 0. 0 dot means it is giving us a floating number. So create two-dimensional array, 4 cross array with all ones. Similarly, if you want to fill that with ones, you can just do ones instead of zeros. You can just do ones. Okay, there you go, it has printed 1. So create array from 10 to 20. So you can do a range function is there, array, and this is the range starting from 10 to 21, because the index, always if you type index, it starts from 0. So if you would like to print from 10 to 20, you need to give one more extra so that it should print 20 here. So create array of all even numbers, or even numbers you can call it, or a gap, give two gap each. So if you do like this, like 10 to 21 and then with 2 gaps. If you if you try this 3, then it should give me 3 gap as 3, 10, then 13, then 16, then 19, 3 gap. If you type it as 6, then it will print like this 6. So yeah, that's how we have learned how to use the range function. Now we'll learn how to use how to convert a single dimensional array to multi-dimensional array, 2-dimensional array. This is my first array, so I should print it like this. Okay, so I can what I can do, I can create another array like array 2, I have deleted 2 is equal to np dot, I should convert that 1-dimensional array to 2-dimensional array. So what I can do is reshape. There is a function called reshape my array, not np. This array I can let's reshape that to any sort of 3 by 5. So if you print that, it should give me array 2. The first one is my 1-dimensional array. I have in the second line I have just converted that to 2-dimensional array with number of rows as 3 and columns as 5, as you can see it here. So instead of doing in 2 step, I can simply do it in one line. How to do that? np dot arrange. So that is my array I have declared, the 2-dimensional array. I can just cascade it, reshape by 3 by 5. Simply it should give me the same answer. There you go. So here there is another line space, in space. So here if you type 0 to 9, or this n means it should give me gap. Now it should split the total number of arrays into 5 equal number of elements. It should not be from that list of array. It will divide the array. Let's suppose I want to try that. Here 0 to 9, it is divided equally by 3 number. If you type as 5, so it should give me 2, then 2.25, 4.5, and equally it is divided by 2.25, because if you consider 9 divided 5, it should give me 1.8. sorry, how it is created. Yes, 9 divided 5, 9 divided by 4, 2.25, sorry, yeah. So I need the 5 number of elements, so the gap should be equally, it should divide by 4. So that means it should give me at the interval of 2.25, like this. Similarly, if you want to do a random number, if you want to get the random numbers of 5 like this, you can get it by 5, just like random dot random, because I have not imported random what is called random module. So I have just imported np. So np dot random module, and there is a function called random. You can just do and pass the elements, number of 5 number of elements it will return. If you give me, if you would like to get that 2-dimensional array, you can give like 3 by 4, 3 number of array and 4. So yeah, if you run it, it will give you the output like this. arithmetic operator. Let's suppose I want to add this is my array, I would like to run it. I want to add 5 to it, so it should add 5 here, then it should become 6, then it will become 7, like that. So if you run that, so it should give us 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly, so in the previously we have learned like how to get random number. So let's suppose I want to get the random number between 1 to 50. So you can just type this is random number, it will give 10 such random numbers. If you multiply with 50, it will give you the starting from 0 to 50. If you run it one more time, it should give you another 10 such of random numbers, range from 0 to 50. If you would like to range from 0 to 100, then you can multiply with 100. And you can see here it is 71, 82, like that. So now we have learned how to multiply it. I just wanted to say how to multiply it. This is addition. Similarly, you can do a division. So this is my n number of arrays, like 0 to, it should give me 0 to 20. If you just divide by 2, it should give me 2. Like all the elements, okay, let me print it. A1. So A1 is giving me, this is my array, A1 is giving me 0 to 10. I just want to divide that with 2. So it should give me all the elements divided by 2. If you want to divide by 4, you can also do that like this. Okay, matrix multiplication. Now come to matrix multiplication. For matrix multiplication, I should have two matrices, like two-dimensional array. So this is my either this is the way we can do like matrix. This is single dimensional array, convert that to two-dimensional array, or you can directly hard code these values like this. This is another matrix called B, like all the elements as 3. You can do it by like this, fill it with 1s and multiply with 3. If you want to get all elements as 4, just multiply by 4. So now you have two matrices, you can just multiply it. This is not matrix multiplication, this is matrix product. So what product means, it will multiply element by element. 0 is multiplied with 3, 1 is multiplied with 1, 2 is multiplied with 2. That means it should give, if you run it, it should give 0, 3, 6. It's element by element wise multiplication, the same thing, element by element multiplication. In order to get matrix multiplication or dot product, what you can that is like this element into 3 plus this divide into 3 plus 2 into 3. Similarly, this is the first element you should get. That is the dot product. So if you do, there is a method called dot, np.dot a slash b, a comma b, sorry. It will give us the dot product like this. Now we have done the matrix multiplication. There are also transpose, you can do a transpose, you can do the other sort of matrix multiplications by the NP methods. Okay, let's go to and go quickly and check some aggregate functions. In order to get the sum of all the elements of an array, this is my array, I will declare it. And if you, in order to get the summation of all the elements, you can do the array dot summation. So it should give you the summation for minimum. Finding the minimum by looking at it, I can guess that it is 3. So it should also return 3. Similarly, maximum as 55. Maximum it is returning 55. Mean means is the average of all the elements. Like add all the elements and divide by number of elements I have. So if you want to get the mean, it should give us 24, and similarly the standard deviation as 15. Okay, now we have learned a little bit of arithmetic operations. Now we'll go to what is called indexing and slicing. Indexing is pretty similar to the Python indexing. So this is my array. I have declared like 10 to 19 like it, and the fourth index, if you give fourth index, it's giving the fifth element because it started from 0. is 14th. Yeah, here is 14, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4th index and 5th element. If you want to get the last element, either you can pass the total number of records as an index, or if you don't want to calculate and want to do any single step, you can just do -1. -1, this is the last element. -3, similarly this is the last but 3 element. Similarly, splice, if you want to splice it, like to get the subset of an index, like here in an example, 2 to 5th element. 2 to 5th means this is my 0, 1, 2. 5th means this should return as 2 colon 5th. 2 colon 5th. Similarly, if you want to get, like this is my starting element, this is my end element, and this is the gap. Gap means every alternate element I would like to get. So here 11, starting from 1 to 6, I should get the alternate element. Starting from 11 to 16, I should get alternate element, like 11, 13 and 15. It has written. Which one here? If you skip it, the starting element, so it should consider by default as 0. If you skip the end element, it should consider everything, and it will consider only the gap, like 0 to 9. This is same as 0 to 9, every alternate element. If you skip everything, then it will take as 0 start element, end element, and the gap, here the gap has to be 1. So you will get all the elements that you have declared here. So thank you guys, this is pretty much I have covered in the basics. So I have uploaded the source code in my GitHubs. I will be sharing that information in the description below. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.